Hello, everyone. I am Ramiro, as you can see from my name, but I'm in the math department, and I kind of do something very similar to Sarah that I think I'm not teaching in a face-to-face class this semester. Mine's going to be all online, but I think it'll be very beneficial to professors that are doing the face-to-face because it's something that you can use all semester and has given me a lot of great feedback from my students. I call them reflections. I have 5 of them throughout the whole semester that if when I go back to face, I will still use. So the first reflection is kind of like Sarah's survey. It's a little shorter where I can screen share. I was working on it earlier. I can screen share that reflection. I'm teaching a new course this semester, so I'm excited. Brand new math course. I usually teach statistics. And I also use those reflections for data, and I use that data to do like exam questions. So it's like questions on them. So they kind of enjoy that too. But the first reflection here, it's just quick questions. And I do make it worth 5% of the course since it's a math class and they always want some extra credit. And I tell them, hey, this is basically your extra credit. I'm giving you 5%. You just got to answer them. There's no wrong answers. And the first reflection is very straightforward. I want to know how anxious they are, or if they have some kind of fear with mathematics. And when did that start? Because I like to collect that data again for my statistics class. I always want to say like, oh, did it start in elementary, middle school? A lot of it happened here or this semester because it's the first time you're taking a stats course, so you're freaking out, or a math class. So I like to find that out to see where they're at. It also helps me know what kind of math skills they have in the beginning already because of where they started getting this fear. So it's just pretty straightforward. I just want to know about them. And I do this constantly. Like I said, after every exam, I have another reflection. And I think if you go back to face, again, this is a thing that you could basically use as well. After every exam, after you graded it, maybe then you tell them to reflect on that exam. I ask them how they studied, so that I can see maybe they're studying a lot of time, but they're just not studying effectively. Some students just don't know how to study. And then I can help them, especially when I ask them, again, when they go to my office hours, I definitely look at the reflections to see where they stand. I get to know them that way because in person, I was I got to meet my students very well, talk to them all the time. And I kind of lost that component online. And this has brought it back, especially I respond back to them using videos, or I will respond, writing them comments. And, I tell them like, I put the effort that you put in, if a student just gives me 1-word answers, that's fine. They'll still get full credit, because there's no wrong answers, but they kind of get that back from me as well. Like, oh, nice, that's cool or whatever. And the students, they, really let themselves, let me get to know them. I also take the time to respond to them as well. So I call them reflections, and I've gotten a lot of great feedback from my students telling me like, thank you, it's so awesome. I feel like you care. Thank you for responding like this. Sometimes I already know they're dealing with a situation and they don't even have to ask like, can I miss that exam? Because during this reflection, they'll tell me something that I'm just like, hey, you know what, that exam, we can move it like a day, the next day, if that's okay with you, like, if that's going to help you. And they appreciate that. They didn't even have to ask me. They're like, oh, thank you so much. That's awesome. And I think it'd be very beneficial for anyone that's doing the 2 weeks, so that you get to know your students in the first reflection and just continue it going forward, because consistency is key, and care. This hits 2 of them, I think so. So that's pretty much, that I wanted to share with everyone.
I'm so happy you shared that. I was really hoping that you would, because Ramiro told me about this earlier in the semester. And do you want to share the feedback and the impact that it made on student grades on an assignment? Because I still remember that. Do you remember that?
Well, it's just like when I started using it, I teach at multiple campuses, and I started using these reflections. I don't have those scores right in front of me, but I saw an uptick in all my classes grades, all of them in all campuses. So it wasn't just like, I work at Glendale Community College, I work at Bakersfield College, Cal State Northridge as well. And it was just a huge improvement that I knew it had to be something that I was doing. And that was definitely one of the biggest changes. Of course, I'm improving every semester, but it was just so big. And I just think it was the students knowing that I cared, and they felt like since he cares, and I have to try to produce good work. And yeah, it just kind of worked out for me. And I'm never gonna let it go. I'm gonna keep using that pretty much when I go back to face, because it's still really hard to talk to somebody one on one. But like this, I have time to talk to them, and it's been great.
Right. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And
Well,
that's one of the things that we get when we create spaces for students to share asynchronously is it kind of opens up a little bit of space so students can maybe be a little bit more emboldened than they would in a face-to-face discussion, but maybe not as emboldened as they would be on social media when they're anonymous.